Hello, in this video I will explain why Exploding Palm is so effective in both PvE and PvP and why I use it in almost every build. Let's begin with comparison of its damage to the infamous Wave of Light. Currently, my Wave of Light deals 15,700 damage, plus 60% of that damage if I manage to hit an enemy with 3 waves, which equals 9,420, making it a total of 25,120 damage. Now let's check the damage on Exploding Palm. The first hit will do 6,780 damage, and the explosions will do 12,530 damage. And that will add up to total of 19,310. This is already better than Wave of Light if I can hit only one wave. In PvE, you usually have big packs of enemies, so if they all explode, you will hit them 5 times with the explosion, and of course you will only deal 30% damage with further explosions. And that means the damage is downgraded every time. Another explosion happens within 1 second of each other. So let's quickly calculate how much damage we actually get off if we can proc all the 5 explosions. So the first one will do 12,530 damage, and 30% of that is 3,759, and 30% from that is 1,127, and 30% of that is 338, and all those added up is 17,754 damage. And if we count the initial hit from the Exploding Palm, then we are talking about the same damage as Wave of Light. And there is of course the bleed damage that also does 1000 damage per second. So with Numbing Pain, it will usually trigger itself and you can kill a lot of packs with only Exploding Palm. Or well, at least if you can kill one pack with Wave of Light, then you can probably kill the same pack with just Palm. But in PvP, Wave of Light still deals more damage, but with Numbing Pain, Palm does almost the same damage, and it does more damage than Mystic Strike or Flying Kick. However, that's not the reason I use it in PvP. The reason I use it in PvP in almost every build is that it's one of the only 2 skills that has iframes in it, but you will need Reaching Rebuke to get the iframes for Palm. With this, you can jump over pillars, black holes, or you can jump to the enemies without getting CC'd, like you would usually do with Mystic Strike if there's a lot of enemies. Also, you can jump over terrain with it, so example, in the battlegrounds you have these corners, so you can kinda like cut the corners with the Palm. So remember to use that in your advantage. It's also one of the best escape tools. Even if you are CC'd, if you have a tiny window when you are not CC'd, you can get Palm off and fly away without the risk of getting CC'd right away. Like with Mystic Strike, you most often will get Rubber Band back where you were, and there you stand again CC'd even though you use it Mystic Strike because it doesn't have the iframe. You can also use this quick succession if you have too many enemies around you, and they will most definitely have a hard time hitting anything on you. This is also a great way to get rid of some enemy CCs. Also, if you go in and do some damage, they will usually try to CC you. And if you hop in the air before they start focusing on you, they're bound to miss some CC skills, making the target easier to deal with. If you pair this with Mystic Strike, you have one of the best mobility builds out there with a Monk. And remember, in PvE, if you're fighting a boss, this is a great tool to dodge some CCs and high damage abilities that some bosses have. But for me, the most important part of this skill with Reaching Rebuke is that it's one of the most fun skills to use as a monk. I absolutely love using this skill everywhere. So give it a go and see the damage for yourself, and please test this with Wave of Light in PvP, it works like a charm. You can easily drop a Wave of Light without getting hit, and off you go back to the iframes after dropping that Wave of Light. You will feel like a ninja with this skill. I absolutely love this ability to the moon and back. Thank you for watching this. I will be dropping a new PvP build, so be sure to subscribe so you won't miss that out. And remember, you guys are awesome. I'll catch you on the next one.